Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening.
Whoops. Next.
You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to your favorite movie-based goddamn fucking Facebook. I don't get this.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
done.
working. I'm old.
I'm over this. Welcome to your favorite movie-based podcast. This is An Evening at the Movies, the podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered-down sodas, we talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them, and occasionally we get the internet figured out, and one of us has to listen to Amanda talk now. So
Or both of you.
I digress. Well, I mean, I listen to you talk all the time.
Somebody has to.
So
Not me.
Why is what is StreamYard doing? Why is it not live on Facebook? That is annoying.
I have no idea. This is what, like 3 or 4 episodes in a row now.
I'll post the YouTube link.
So
Again, fucking technology.
Right. Luckily, we're going back to the 60s where
I'm
technology wasn't as much of a problem.
Right? Because according to that, I am live.
Yeah, and it doesn't say it for me at all.
And
That's so weird.
there's the bit.
Oh my gosh. So on YouTube, I don't know what this is, if this is like a background or what, but obviously it's unpopped popcorn kernels. It looks like human teeth. I don't know if you guys can see this. Does that look like human teeth?
It kind of does. Yeah. Like somebody robbed a
You're
tooth fairy
welcome.
or something.
This is not that kind of podcast.
That
Anyway.
was actually a joint creation by myself and Mr. Witness Protection Program, Chance
Oh.
Greif.
That explains why it looks like human teeth.
Tonight on Only Broken Teeth in the Building.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's also my Macy Gray impression.
So,
oh, you sounded better than she does.
well,
I like listening to you when you talk like that. Well, I would stumble right away from her if she was singing to me. I feel bad for her, but no.
I mean, I just want to know if it was 3 or 4 packs a day to get to that voice.
I'm going to go with 4 or 5, if we're being honest.
Fair.
I was going to say 6 or 7, but, you know, at the end of the day, I don't understand the whole, how you could go through that much in one fucking day.
Well, I've never smoked, so I don't know what's
anyway,
the acceptable amount, but it can't be 5 or 6, right? Like, that's got to be way too much.
Right?
1 is almost too freaking much.
Okay. How many cigarettes are in one pack?
I mean,
12?
anything more than about 1, then 20.
Oh, Jesus. And people smoke more than 1 pack a day? Holy fuck. I grew up with smokers, and I don't know this.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Literally, like, if you're like a 2-pack a day person, You're like
that's more than one an
nonstop.
hour.
One goes out and the
assuming
next
you're
one
awake
gets
24
started.
hours. Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And depending upon how consistently that those things burn for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes at a time.
Yikes.
So you can I know the maths are hard for you, but
Fuck you. I just did the
it's
maths in
simple
like
math.
2 seconds. Anyway, moving on.
So yay. Everybody's favorite co-host is here. Say hi,
Hello.
co-host.
Hi, co-host. And since we're going to be talking about gold, speaking of gold, NBA champions,
Oh,
Oklahoma City Thunder. It's gold, it's gold, it's gold, it's gold, it's solid gold, baby.
My voice is still not recovered from Sunday and
Yeah.
Monday. Sunday and Tuesday. Well, a little bit of Monday.
You knew, Kasey, you have to give us our moment, okay? Like, we're not going to rub it in, but you got to give us our moment.
I don't have to do nothing but stay old and die.
Okay, then do that while I talk. All right, maybe don't die. That was kind of mean. Yeah, still coming off the high of our Thunder finally winning their championship, and Chris and I are both so excited. Our whole city is excited. We're very happy, and it's been a wild ride, but it's been a long time coming, as Taylor Swift says. It's been a long time coming, but
went from Fly Eagles Fly in February to Let's Go Thunder in June. It's been a good year so far, sports wise. I mean, my Avs fucking sucked on the playoffs, but that's what they do most of the time. So,
what are you gonna do?
But yeah, I got to watch my Eagles lift the Lombardi Trophy, and then in person, got to watch the Thunder lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy, and
Same. Well, different spot,
So,
different day, but same.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I've watched on TV all three
I was
times the
gonna say,
Avs.
which of the two of you was inside of an air-conditioned building while the other one was outside in the god-awful Oklahoma heat?
That was a luck thing. Like, I didn't even realize that was going to happen until 5:30 Monday night, because everything was just so rushed being sent out by the team. I thought I was going to be hauling around a bag of stuff. And when we got the tickets, I thought it was just for the pre-event.
And it was
then
for the whole
Cassandra finally, taught me how to read email, and saw that we were able to stay inside the whole time. So it was great. And mad props to OKC and the surrounding municipalities for having a really, really seamless experience for the parade.
Yeah, it was really good. So a PSA to the people. I am like, my mind is like blown that people don't know this, but like, I've had people commenting about, because they had the air buses, and they're like, oh, look at those pre-painted buses. It's almost like they were. Do you guys not fucking realize that any city, any team that goes to the NBA finals, from the beginning of the playoffs, they have planned out parade routes. They are printing shirts. They are doing everything. For the people that don't know, when the finals happen, both teams print shirts, and the ones that don't get used, they send to like Africa. Like,
right. And
so it's like, this stuff is pre-planned. It doesn't mean that we were given anything. There's people bitching about it. So, oh, well.
First of all,
what?
You cannot pre-plan. You cannot plan to plan. You just fucking plan. And second of all, I blame the NBA for this for two reasons. A, letting this become rage bait for no reason.
Right.
And the schedule being so compressed that Game 7 is Sunday, round 1 of the draft is Wednesday, which means they have basically 2 days to do the parade. So, yeah, there were people in Indiana putting wraps on buses.
Yes.
Right.
Planning parade routes.
Which should have been. I still haven't seen Carlisle's response, because I don't really give a shit. But apparently he was a little irked about the whole bus thing leaking. And Rick, shut the fuck up. There were people in Indiana or Indianapolis putting wraps on buses.
I mean, of course. It's like, I mean, as soon as you find out your team's going to the playoffs, any city, and Oklahoma City is one of the smaller market cities, but
Mhm.
any city is going to explore how'd they get that parade together so fast. Bitch, they've been planning this since like probably the last third of the season when we've won all these games and they thought we're gonna like this
Right.
stuff does not logistically fall together in 2 days. But
Oh no, they
when it's
UConn
pre-planned, people think it's like no, everybody pre-plans this shit. Everybody.
or
Y'all are dumb.
plans. Yeah.
But yeah, Chris was in the building for actual game 7, got to see the trophy, and we stood at the end of the parade route and got to see who was holding it up because it wasn't SGA at that point. It changed so many hands, but yeah, I mean it was very close to us. We'd see him on the bus and got to see all the people, and I loved seeing Nick Collison out there.
Great.
Like just him, and I didn't see Eric Maynor, but I know he was probably there. But we got to
Just
see
from
Nick
with the rest of
Collison
the coaches. Yeah.
at the back of the bus. Like just love that for him. So
I love that iHeart was wearing a Nick Collison shirt.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want that shirt.
Yeah. I want the iHeart shirt too, but there's so many shirts I want. So sorry, Kasey. Just sorry. We're having our moment, but we're just
Caruso's Mount Rushmore shirt of himself is on his website.
ooh. Caruso with his shirt off and his white skin with his little like boat hat, or what are those hats called? But you know what I'm talking about.
Bucket hats, yeah.
Bucket hats. Like all the other guys have their shirts off and they're, they're beautiful chocolatey skin and they're all ripped and like whatever. And Caruso's kind of ripped, but not a lot. But he is so fucking white and he's out there with his shirt off, just like having the time of his life with his little bucket hat on. It was so cute.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Williams dropping an F-bomb on live TV. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
So anyway, yeah, we are very, very happy and excited and having a great week. So we're excited to be here. And yes, I'm speaking for Chris, but Chris, welcome.
Thank you. Newly minted icon of this show. I'm glad to be back. What?
That's exactly right. Icons mount up. We're done, Kate.
Oh, yes. Just making sure we had all the horse shit out of the freaking way.
Hold on. You're going to have to be a little more specific because this show is going to be nothing but horse shit. I mean, have you talked to us before?
Okay. All of the athletic horse shit.
Okay. Say what you want, but Oklahoma City is a very amazing community, and we have loved that team since day one, when they were winning, when they were losing. There are always fair weather fans wherever you go, but for the most part, it's like two divided sports college teams can come together and support the same thing, and you're bringing that energy. So that's like the love that we have for that team is not a lot of places have that, because a lot of places have multiple sports teams. They have, now Indy really only has the Colts, but besides this, but still they have something else. So it's just a very gratifying and very full circle feeling moment thing for us right now. So,
and to quote my dude Aaron Wiggins, the folks that were in the arena Tuesday were the same ones that were in the arena when they were only winning 24 games.
Yes.
I need that man hyping me up. He needs to be my hype man from now on.
I started crying when he said that. I'm not going to lie. I was because that's true. And yes, we moved to Texas, so we haven't been there as much, but in spirit we were.
Right.
And we kept our season tickets until this year. So we haven't lived there for 10 years, and yet we still kept our tickets. So he's right. The same people that were there now were the same people that were there the first season, which was a totally shit losing season, and even seasons after that, where, I mean, we lost money.
Yeah, those first couple seasons
in a row, and we still kept them. So
Yeah.
In case he's checking his watch. Okay. We're done. Thunder up. Woo!
I'm just saying we're 16 minutes into the show and we haven't even said what movie we're talking about yet. But I digress. So
It's gold member.
it is
Gold member. Oh wait, that's not right.
It is not gold member.
Damn, when
It
I was
is
supposed to have
the
a bong
final
and a
week
blintz.
of. It is the final week of Classic Hollywood Month. We've talked about some musical drag queens. We've talked about foxy animated or sexy animated foxes.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about female Brits that fly around in the sky with a freaking umbrella in their hand. And we talked about creepy pervert Larry.
Ugh, Larry.
Which one was
Oh,
that?
man.
So,
The
the
Wolfman.
Wolfman.
Oh, yes. Still better
Larry
than the
is
Benicio del Toro version.
prime pervert status.
Oh God!
I did get a
Like
chance
we
to do
talked
that
about
one.
last week, there was problematic issues. The 1941 version, but
Yeah.
it's still probably, if not the best version of that story.
I mean, I think there's better versions of the story, but as far as a specific Wolfman movie,
I think
that's
there's
my
better
favorite.
versions of the effects, but I don't think there's a better version of that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole different conversation for
Yeah,
another episode.
yeah. We went down that road with the mind blowing special effects from 1941.
Hey,
So,
you know I love me a good practical
so
effect.
all that stuff that we talked there was some practicality to that movie. So the only thing left for us to discuss would be um, possibly some classical Bond, James Bond.
Dun, 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 dun,
Almost
dun, dun.
4.5 years later, James Bond finally making his debut on An Evening at the Movies.
I can't believe this is the first Bond movie we've done.
Right?
That's wild. But this is a fantastic one to start with.
I've wanted to do Bond for a while. It just I haven't. One, I didn't figure it was something you would want to sit and discuss, and
Me?
two, it was a matter. Yes, that it was a matter of trying to find somebody else semi interested enough to want to come and sit and talk about Doctor No or Goldfinger or
Octopussy.
any of the current. Hey, that movie is a pure classic. Thank you very
I
much.
know. And actually, since we're going to be
Truth be told,
saying
that
that,
was
we got to say it how they say it in this movie. It's pussy. They're very like,
Poussey.
pussy galore. It's like how what's her head says garage. There's the garage. What did she say?
The garage.
The garage. So cute.
So, all right. So, we're talking gold member or not. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! You got me started.
Gold member. Gold member. It's got the
Which would
Midas
have been a
touch,
better theme
We
song.
are
but he touched
not.
it too much. He's got the Midas touch, but he touched it too much. It's gold member.
You know, this might be my second least favorite Bond theme song.
I guess I don't hate it because of her
I'm
voice.
curious to know what your first.
Okay, her voice is all over the goddamn place. She just can't decide whether she wants to go high or low. As Kasey and I discussed earlier today, the audio did not convert to Blu-ray very well, so it's sketchy as shit in spots.
Oh, I watched it on Prime. I had to rent it, so.
And lyrically, it's dumb. Like it's almost as bad as Skyfall.
Who sang the Skyfall song? I can't remember.
Adele.
That's right.
And not throwing shit at Adele. It's just a bad theme song.
Well, yeah. I really liked the one Billie Eilish did, and I can't remember. It was one of the recent ones. I can't remember, but
yeah,
I mixed them all up.
It's easy to do,
guy,
especially the
and
Roger Craig ones, because beautifully those all actually are all related to each other, unlike all the other previous Bond movies that were all, well, except for 2, are all standalones.
And people like to hate on Die Another Day, but I liked that song. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, well, people like to hate on the Brosnan movies anyway.
Which is dumb. I love
Wait, or was that Dalton?
No, that was Brosnan.
Was Brosnan?
Yeah.
Yeah. People hate on the Brosnan ones because they waited too long or Brosnan's career didn't open up early enough, so he was too old.
Right.
I always found that hilarious because Roger Moore was older than Connery, but nobody ever said anything about Roger Moore being too old.
Right. And I don't know how old Brosnan was, but I didn't think he looked any older than Connery looked in his movies.
Right. And Timothy Dalton just got stuck with bad scripts.
Yeah.
I haven't disliked any of the Bonds, to be honest. The only one I have not seen is On Her Majesty's Secret Service because my mother was a huge Bond fanatic, and that movie was banned in my house growing up, so I've never actually seen that movie.
Because
so I can't comment.
Or what?
Huh?
Why was it banned?
Because it's not good, because Lazenby, by all accounts, was not a very good Bond, and the whole out of nowhere, James decides to get married, and then they kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either, so.
I've seen it like 3 times in my life. Trust me, you're not missing out on anything.
And I think it was also another one of those where Lazenby got stuck with a bad script, and there were some weird contract issues between the rights on some of the books and Connery and Moore, which is how we got Thunderball, which is a Bond movie but not a Bond movie.
I mean, we're gonna, I'm sure, talk about the script stuff, but I'm gonna make the same argument for Bond movies that I make for the cheesy comic book movies, which is I like them cheesy. I like the cheesy commentary. I love the stupid jokes. The guy gets electrocuted in the tub and he's like, shocking. Like,
oh god, there are so many great.
I love that shit. That's why I like the Tim Burton Batmans and like it's fun.
I forget which Bond movie it is where one of the chicks gets killed and he lays her down on the bed and he's like, "Excuse me, she's just dead on her feet."
Yeah.
So no, the puns and the quips.
But yeah, okay. So sorry. Let's let Kasey introduce the movie and.
Oh shit! Right? Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. We're so fired.
No, you're fine. So before we really get into the discussion, Goldfinger released December 22nd, 1964. Was directed by Guy Hamilton, United Artists / MGM. Had a $3 million budget and made a whopping $125 million at the box office. If you have not,
wait, 125 on a budget of 3,
Goldfinger. Yep,
that's impressive.
In 1964 too.
Right. Well, just percentage-wise, right? That's 40 times the budget.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really freaking good.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean Connery was fucking hot.
Bond movies have always, I guess, in a way, done really well box office wise. I mean, there have been a couple that probably on Her Majesty's Secret Service. But even the less favorable, quote unquote, Timothy Dalton movies still had decent box office numbers. So, um, let's see. And I have not seen the Goldfinger. Uh, Anywhere. You will have to pay to rent it or go buy the damn DVD. Um, and I have Rotten Tomato scores and popcorn meter scores. Would you wise people like to wager a guess as to what each of the scores is?
Chris, you can go first.
I'm gonna go 72 and 86.
Which one is which?
72 for the tomato meter and 86 for the popcorn.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling super slutty today after watching this movie for obvious reasons.
Why is today any different?
Well, today's super slutty. It's not regular slutty because, I just.
Right, it's slutty but with a cape.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm super slutty. um. So
And more pleather.
yeah, and those tiny little swim trunks. Whew, okay. I'm gonna go popcorn meter. I'm gonna go 90%. Tomato meter, I'm gonna go 86%. Super slut.
So the popcorn meter on 100,000 plus reviews
Nice.
is 89%.
Ooh!
Well done.
Yay me, I'm back.
I'm glad you think so.
Well, you did go
On
over.
75 reviews,
I said 90.
So, yeah, which is more than 89.
Griffey,
But I covered the spread.
You normally do.
I know. I really do. This is serious. Be quiet.
on 75 reviews, the tomato meter 99%.
Shut the fuck up.
Nope.
So only Bond fans went to review this movie, is what we're saying.
Did they only find octogenarians that barely knew how to use the internet?
Yeah, I love James Bond. I'm going to go to Rotten Tomatoes and it's valid to a point because I have some stuff to say about this particular movie compared to other ones, but 99%, yeah, that interesting. It's Griffey. Hi, doggy. He's like,
Meant
why
that
are
you
you
can't even
hugging?
get with 75 reviews, so I'm not entirely sure how the fuck that works.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's crazy. Well, before we move on, so Chris, I didn't ask you off the air, but do you have your movie phone voice ready, or do I need to do that?
Go ahead and do it, please.
Okay. Well, before we do that, for people that haven't seen or been here, we have a small little new segment to add after Kasey gives us all the factual stuff, and that is me letting you know what, if any, awards the movie was nominated for, or won, or whatever. So, Goldfinger was actually nominated for and won Best Oscar for Sound Effects Editing. First Bond movie to win an Academy Award. So kudos to them. John Barry was nominated for the Grammy. He didn't win, but was nominated for Best Original Score. It was nominated for a BAFTA award for art direction. And this is an award I've never heard of, and these only lasted, they went from like 1954 to like 1967, so not a very long, I don't know, but the Golden Laurel Awards, which Sean Connery won for Best Action Performance, and Gert, I cannot say his last name. Is it Frobe? 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 I don't know how you say it. One was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. The other thing they got was the Online Film and Television Association Hall of Fame. 2020, the movie was inducted, and 2022, the theme song was inducted, even though you guys hate it. And lastly, this movie has spawned at least two amazing other things, which is Austin Powers Gold Member and Michael Scott's Threat Level Midnight. So there you go.
And Sterling Archer's Tack to Neck.
Okay, I didn't know that one.
Have you not watched Archer?
Archer I have seen off and on. I have not like super watched it. I know you really like it, but I haven't like just like really done it. But if you have not seen the Office episode with Threat Level Midnight, you can actually watch the entire short film. It's 30 minutes long and it's on YouTube, but you got Jim Halpert as Golden Face, and they even do a whole ice skating thing. But yeah, anyway. So there you go. Kasey, you're muted, buddy. I don't know if you know that. These have a thin candy shell. I'm surprised you didn't know that. All right. Well, Goldfinger. There we go. Okay. In this Bond film, the powerful... What?
Show her again what you just did, PP.
Oh. Okay. Hey. All right. Yeah, sorry, I was on a different screen. Okay. In this, what I believe is Sean Connery's third installment, maybe second. You guys can
Second, I
correct me?
believe.
Okay.
Third? Wait,
Third.
Dr. No.
From Russia with Love. Goldfinger.
Okay, so this is the third. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't question me, even though I told you to.
For some reason, I thought it was the second. It's been a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. The powerful...
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, From Russia with Love is not great.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. I haven't seen this in a long time either. So, okay, here we go. Powerful tycoon Arik Goldfinger has initiated Operation Grand Slam, a cataclysmic scheme to raid Fort Knox and obliterate the world economy. James Bond, armed with his specially equipped Aston Martin, must stop the plan by overcoming several outrageous adversaries. Dun, dun, dun.
Odd Job.
That was a lot of big words. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Odd Job is my favorite henchman ever. Like, I fucking
Even
love
more
him.
than Jaws?
Which one is that?
Yeah,
The big dude from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Oh, but which movie is that? I forget.
Moonraker.
No.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Odd Job is still my favorite because
he's in two or three
different
it's
movies.
The attitude. It's not just the decapitating hat. It's the, I'm going to smile at you while you try to kill me, and I'm going to drop you down into this basement, and I'm just going to smile at you. Like, his whole sassiness without ever saying a word is like my favorite thing. I love him. Dude's got swag.
No, he's a great henchman. He really is.
So yeah.
Oh, this movie also spawned a Beavis and Butthead scene.
Oh.
Where they said something about, we need that tall guy, hand job.
Hand job, odd job. I mean,
The odd
Like-
hand job, whatever.
Amanda's
You
an
know,
expert. Amanda's an expert in the job.
they don't call it a job for nothing. Anyway. Oh, okay. So this is random. Kasey, okay, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you finish. In the words of Kanye, fuck that dude. When I was watching this earlier, so Jack is asleep, like kind of up next to me, but on the top of the couch cushion, and Pearl is like right up against me. And so I'm watching the movie, and yeah, I'm enjoying it and kind of giggling and whatever. And then the golf scene comes up, and like Goldfinger hits it, and Bond goes, "Oh, that's some bad luck. You're in the rough." And my mind immediately went to that SNL Jeopardy with the guy playing Sean Connery. When he's like, rough. That's the way your mother likes it, Trebek. And I started laughing so hard, both of my animals were pissed.
oh god, the Connery
Oh, my God,
Jeopardy
it was so
bits on
good.
SNL are just
Yeah.
beautiful.
The category is like things a doggy says, and he's like, rough. That's the way your mother likes it, Trebek.
Now,
Let's now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started laughing so freaking hard. I was like, okay, yeah. Anyway, I had to tell you guys that. I didn't want to forget to tell you because it was really funny. All right. So Kasey. Shocking.
so Amanda.
Well, I didn't know if you had discussion questions for
Okay.
us, if we're just,
Well, I mean, there's stuff to discuss.
Could we
like
take
who
a
names
moment
their kid Pussy?
to talk about how horribly fucking rapey this movie is? Like, why is it every classic movie I grew up on is nothing but coerced sex?
This movie is
Holy
very
fuck
rapey.
knuckles. Like, I don't want to turn this into a social diatribe, and I'm not trying to excuse people's actions, but when you grow up watching these things,
No means no.
You think that's how you're supposed to do it?
right?
It's just like as little girls, people telling us, "Oh, if he picks on you, that means he likes you." No, it doesn't fucking mean that. But when
It
you
could just be
grow
that the
up,
kid's a little shithead. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's not an excuse, but also when that's what you're used to seeing and nobody tells you any different, it's like, oh,
Right?
so that's how I get a girl to have sex with me. I just hold her down and kiss her until she acquiesces.
Right? And let's be honest, Connery was a suave, sexy motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, like, oh,
Obviously, I mean, shit.
I mean, he was voted world's sexiest man like 702 times.
for good reason. Pearl. Sorry, my kitty cat's meowing.
Well,
My
I mean,
actual
702, but there was that one time that he did get upset, so it wasn't 703.
Yeah, he decided to withdraw that year just for give somebody else a chance.
Yeah, when we get to the parts that we don't like about the movie, that was definitely one of mine. Is it's a little essay laden.
Right. Okay, so things we like. I love the
Well, no,
gadgets.
but
I love the toys. I love
oh
the fucking
God,
DB5.
the gadgets are outstanding.
Honestly, for as low budget as it was, the action sequences are pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, so like one of the things I noted, like one of those first scenes in the movie, like when he's at the resort in Miami. Is it me or did it literally look like he was standing there acting in front of a green screen?
Oh, there
I'm
was
sure
a
it
lot of matte paintings in that sequence
Oh
because Sandra and
yeah,
I were mocking the shit out of it as we were watching it last night.
nice.
Um,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
but
You know
again, we're talking about a 1964 movie that's been up converted to Blu-ray and or 4K. I don't remember seeing that problem on an old, tube television as a kid because that's what
obviously
it was made for,
right.
right? But now
That's
we're
not
we're
now.
taking those prints well beyond what they were ever intended to do, and so you're gonna see problems.
Yeah.
Just like I'm gonna commit sacrilege here. If you watch an a cut of Star Wars, you can see some blue around the TIE fighters, which you didn't see in '77 and you didn't see on VHS. But once they started up converting it to DVD and Blu-ray and 4K, some of that stuff's just going to come through. So yeah, it's a matte painting, and yeah, it looks like a fucking matte painting, both the sky and the hotel behind him. But you have to understand the fact that this is 60-year-old movie technology that wasn't meant to do this.
Well,
Right.
no, and
That's fair.
even you and I had talked about that this morning briefly with the whole, oh my God, I can't believe the sound quality didn't.
Oh yeah, we had to crank the audio way the fuck past 11.
Yeah. Me too.
Like,
both good and unfortunate to hear at the same time that it was the same way on streaming. And again, you've got 60-year-old prints that, or they might have been a new set of masters in the 70s, or maybe the 80s, but either way, you've got really old stuff that they're, at least they preserved it to a digital format, thankfully.
Right.
But when you think about a lot of old movies, just some of that stuff, there's not enough channels, and it just doesn't sound right every time.
But I don't expect it to either.
Right.
So,
look, I'm not expecting, the rumble of Jurassic Park from a 60-year-old movie.
Right, exactly.
It was just one of those things of, wow, I don't think I've had to turn the TV this loud in quite a while.
Yeah.
It makes you feel older than we really are. It's like,
yeah, for sure.
Because I'm laying here watching the movie last night on Blu-ray, and that opening scene where he comes out of the freaking water, it's like
dead fucking pinch on his head.
I'm sitting here turning the volume all the way up because I can't hear shit, and then all of a sudden, it gets to the explosion, and
your whole house starts rumbling.
You're rattling fillings out, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. So I need to make sure I find a happy medium so I don't wake up the whole fucking neighborhood trying to watch a damn James Bond movie.
I just keep the remote in my hand because that shit upsets my animals. Like, I hate that too about certain movies, and even some stuff now, like even TV shows now, George and I will notice like that we have to like really turn it up and then really turn it down, and it's like, come on, y'all,
we're getting old.
Level this shit out.
Well, just don't watch Michael Bay movies.
But they're so good. Yes.
Okay, some of them.
Are they?
Armageddon. Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor's hit and miss for a lot of people. I get it, but
I mean, it's okay if you don't like history.
Well, right. I think that movie's meant to be a love story.
Use all the fingers on one hand.
Gone in 60 Seconds. That's Michael Bay, isn't it?
No.
It is too. Is it not?
I don't think so.
Or The Rock. I don't know. Anyway.
No, I thought The Rock was Bruckheimer.
You're probably right.
And they're easy to get mixed up because it's just one long fucking explosion between the two of them.
I mean, that's fair too.
But let me counter everything you just said about Michael Bay with Transformers.
Yeah.
How
The Rock is Michael Bay. Okay, and so is Bad Boys.
All right. All
right, I'll give you Bad Boys.
Anyway.
Yeah, one Bad Boys. Maybe two.
Okay, so do you want to hear the thing that I was today years old when I learned?
Oh God, yes, please, yes.
The one that you're going to get shamed by Palpatine for?
So
I may not.
In my defense, no, there's no way you didn't know this. And if you don't, I will not make fun of you. I will actually be happy, but I'm like 99.9% sure you already picked up on this or knew it. In my defense, I have not seen this movie since I was in my early 20s. And I probably did pick up on it then because the two things were so close in time frame. But because I haven't seen it since then, it was like a mind blow moment for me. Okay, so we get the part where Jill dies and you hear the music. and I'm listening to the music, and I'm like, why am I hearing the Sneaker Pimps? Nobody? Six Underground? Nobody? Oh my God, am I the only one that picked up on this? Okay, so there is a part of the score that is going. Go back and listen to it. When you hear it, it's the dun 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 dun. You know that song? Do you know what song I'm talking about? Six Underground?
Yeah.
Okay. So the beginning of that song was taken from this scene in this movie. I had to Google it because I'm going, as soon as I heard the music in the movie, I'm like, why does that sound like that song? And it's because they took it from the movie. Oh my God. Yay. I'm so proud of myself that I knew and you didn't. I thought for sure that was something you would have picked up on.
Nah, I missed it.
Go back and watch that part. You'll hear it now that I've told you. But like I even rewound it and I was like, is that what I think it is? And so then I had to Google it because sometimes stuff sounds similar but no, it literally says Six Underground. They took that part of that movie, that musical part for the beginning of their song.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I was like,
That is
okay,
cool.
sampling some James Bond. I like it.
At least it's not broken down Chevy Nova.
I also really love that song. Like that's one of my favorite songs from the 90s. So maybe that's why it like immediately resonated with me. But
weren't Sneaker Pips on your no skip
you
list?
love.
They weren't, but they could have been.
Okay.
I think they were on Jen's.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah. But Six Underground is an amazing song. And so I immediately heard it. And I was like, wait, what?
Also a great movie.
Wasn't the No Skips the one that you and I freaking like set the record for?
Yes.
No. It was the 90s soundtrack that we set the record for. It was the 90s
soundtracks.
But the No Skip was real close. I think the No Skip was 3 and the soundtracks was 4.
Because funny story, I was listening to that episode in my car driving back from Oklahoma City. Not this time, but the time before was the 90s soundtrack one. Because I'm going to share a clip from it on TikTok tomorrow. But yeah.
Where I stopped when I got to my number 1 because I knew it was Kasey's number 1.
Yes, you guys had 4 in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
In order, nonetheless.
So not the parade time, but the last time before, like when they lost by 45 points to Indiana.
How'd your team do this year?
I think the Storm is still playing, right? The Women's League.
What's Steph doing right now?
I don't want to hear it.
Then don't.
Steph has a hell of a lot more
I think Steph is appreciating some moons over my hammy at this point.
My favorite thing on the Denny's menu. Moons over my hammy. Anyway.
Okay,
just go back and watch that part where he's like when the girl's in the bed and she's covered in gold and he's like kind of all sad and you'll hear it. Dun, dun, dun.
He was not sad. He was like, cool, now I get to fuck somebody else.
Right? Like the girl at the beginning, he comes in, she's in the bathtub. He literally just picks up a towel and throws it at her. Doesn't have to say a thing. And it's just like, bitch, get out. It's time for us to have sex. Like, what?
And then he uses her as a shield.
Yeah. It was very Austin Powers.
Wow. Bond is an asshole.
Yeah.
Especially the Connery version.
I can scientifically prove to you that ladies love assholes.
It's true. Is his yoo-hoo made of gold? It's gold, it's gold, it's gold.
I also love the fact that the villain's name is Goldfinger.
Yeah. But he is so like he is a badass villain in the body of a guy who looks like he got bullied in high school.
Right?
Like
this dude ate his feelings and then turned it into billions of dollars in gold.
Yeah, like his toys are great. Like that whole room where the pool table flips over and the floor goes back, and then
That
he
was just flexing at that point. I mean, he was just
poison
like,
gases everybody, and it's like I'm still not scared of you. Like, I don't know. But I will say and I wish he had I feel really bad saying this. Like, I feel like I'm shitting on the guy for his looks and stuff, and that's not really nice. But to me, he just doesn't look villainous. But when he delivers the line of, Bond is like, "Do you expect me to talk?" And he's like, "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die." That is a fucking iconic Bond villain line. And I can't take him seriously.
honestly, a lot of the early Bond movies were filled with very unsuspecting villains, like guys you wouldn't like. Blofeld never looked that evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But commanded respect, and really until we got to probably the later Moore stuff, where we started getting sexy villains as opposed to guys who looked like Winston Churchill.
Right.
Maybe that was intentional. I don't know.
And maybe it's because I grew up on the 90s, like 80s, 90s, whatever. Like, I didn't watch any of these older ones until I was an adult.
Right.
Or I may have seen them as a kid in passing, but like I didn't pay attention. And so it's different when you're expecting a more modern type villain who is usually attractive and all this other rich, whatever, or powerful looking or exudes power. This guy to me just doesn't exude power. Like, I don't know. So that was such a great line. Like, it was so chilling.
Right.
But I still just couldn't like fully take him seriously. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just no. I expect you to die.
Yeah.
He's like,
That's a fantastic
Before-
line.
I mean,
But
the guy storming around a freaking golf course in the beginning of the movie, acting like a petulant little brat because
he got
Bond
out
is
cheated.
kicking his ass at golf.
yeah, he got
Yeah.
out cheated. Exactly. That's exactly right.
I did notice, and again, this is probably because it's been up converted way past what it was ever meant to be. One of the golf scenes, Goldfinger takes a swing, and you hear the sound effect of a really good smack. And if you watch, you see the ball fly out the tee about 8 feet.
I wasn't paying that much attention,
Yeah.
except for when the ball fell off the tee and he had to move it back. I was like, "You suck."
That would be the equivalent of my golf game. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what do we think about the girls, the Bond girls? I thought they were, Pussy Galore held her own for a while. She goes, "You can stop with the charm. I'm immune." But no, he essayed
Which I
her.
think was the 60s version of hinting that she played for the other team.
I don't know, because I feel like she still gave off a flirtatious vibe.
Fair.
She gave off I could fuck you if I want to, but I don't want to because I'm more powerful than you vibe.
And as you can see, I have pussy galore.
Like, exactly. Her boobs were amazing. Her wardrobe was amazing. Oh my God. Every outfit she wore, I was just like, I love her. That purple outfit, the purple on purple, I was like, yes, queen, get it.
Yeah, Tally was just
was the
there as
joy of
plot
being a Bond
filler.
girl.
Or Tilly.
Who's Tilly?
Jill's sister.
Oh, yeah, I know. She's
there as
there
plot
for
filler
2
in the show that Oddjob is willing to kill anybody.
Oh, I thought you always took your hat off for a lady.
Right?
Damn, dude. Damn.
No.
That hat's the best weapon in the movie. I love it.
One thing I've always loved about these movies is until I want to say Brosnan, maybe Roger Craig, they never had the same actor play Felix Leiter twice. It was always somebody different. So is Felix a person, or is Felix just the name of the contact?
Interesting.
That's
I
a
always
good
thought that
point.
was a great running gag throughout the series.
I loved Moneypenny in
And
this movie.
Roger
Just so
Craig.
Daniel Craig, sorry.
Is this? Are
Daniel
we
Craig.
talking about a
Roger
San
Moore?
Francisco 49er running back?
Well, sure, yeah.
Okay, you know what I really wish they would have done? Like we had all these great like puns and like, horrible lines. How did we not get some kind of rolling in the hay crack when they finally do it? Like they're throwing each other around in the barn and then he holds her down and kisses her and she finally gives in and I'm like, how did we not get some kind of that was a nice roll in the hay or something?
There's a great one from Q in Moonraker.
Okay. I haven't seen that one in a while.
They're
Yeah, I was
trying to
gonna say
recover the
there's.
capsule. They're like, "What's he doing?" And they're bumping uglies in the capsule. And Q's like, "I believe he's attempting reentry."
That's a good one. Okay.
And the fact that it's delivered by
I was
Q,
gonna say.
who I love that character through all the movies.
Yeah.
The unsuspecting grandfatherly old man that is forever done with Bond shit. Like always done with Bond shit. Like
Yeah,
the
that was
second
such a
James
missed
walked into the room, he's
opportunity.
just fucking done with him.
Yeah. In fact, when I was watching the movie, I was literally waiting for it. I was like, okay, I'm watching the movie. I was like, oh, I'm perking up. We're gonna get any second now. We're gonna get some kind of roll in the hay comment. And then we didn't get one. And I was like, oh man, come on.
They're pacing themselves. This is movie 3 of a 25 movie franchise.
Yeah. I love the part when he's in the bed with Jill and the radio. The president said he was very satisfied. He turns it off and he is like, "That makes two of us."
Right?
The lines are just so good.
So Kasey, I don't know if you know because I don't. When they count the 25, do they count Never Say Never Again since it was technically a different studio in that 25?
So the Blu-ray box set that I have has
Mhm.
25 movies in it. Never Say Never is not one of them.
Okay, so it's not counted. Yeah, there were some weird rights issues, and it's basically Thunderball all over again, starring Connery, even though Moore was James Bond at that point.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was a different studio and weird rights access to the book, and it's an
Yeah,
okay movie.
that the original Casino Royale.
With David Niven.
Yeah, there's like 3 Bond movies I think that are not a part of the. So technically, there's 28 movies in the franchise, just not the United Artists MGM
Yeah.
franchise.
Mm. All right. So, what was there anything you
That
guys didn't like about the movie?
How much penicillin did MI6 have to go through for the fact that James
Jesus,
stuck it
fix
in
it.
everything? Everything.
That's what he does.
Again, I grew up on these movies. I love these movies. I'm not okay, I'll judge a little bit. For a time period of when people were supposed to be, pure and
We
conservative
love.
and whatever, he was fucking everything in sight. And
But it
think
was
of the
still
children,
always
man.
okay for men. Like
Right,
they
right.
weren't promoting it, but if a guy did it, it was still acceptable.
And it's crazy because
And he's British.
Pussy is a very strong female character, right? Especially for 1964, it's a very strong female character.
Pussy.
Until there's some dick, and then she's like, "Oh, let's have some."
Yeah. Oh. She's like fighting him off, and then she's like, oh, like, come on. I mean, Pussy Galore's flying circus, like she has a whole arsenal of fembots ready to do her bidding.
Right?
When I think of fembots, I think of them because they're just all like, okay, like
Peroxide was not safe in her neighborhood.
right. Such a
With
powerful
machine
woman,
gun
and they
jumblies.
still had to succumb to the cock.
Right? Oh, God.
Pew, pew,
Every
pew,
bit of
pew,
sex in that movie
pew.
is either coerced or just assumed it's going to happen.
Oh yeah, it's always assumed.
And again, I know it's a different time, but when you grew up watching these things, and then to an extent, you're a reflection of the media you've consumed,
Yeah.
right? And if
Women are
your
just gonna
parent
fall.
never says to you, "Hey, this isn't how it actually fucking works,"
Mhm.
and I'm not excusing anybody, but
No, I agree with
this is your signpost, right?
yeah.
Mistakes are going to get made. Hopefully, stopping before it gets too bad. But yeah,
Well, it's just like watching
Long
movies
haul.
and it's just like watching movies in the 80s and watching the people have sex and it's over in like 45 seconds and the girl comes and it's like, "Oh, he rocked her world." And they didn't do anything. Like that's not how it really works, but
for you,
that's how you have to do movies. Like I get it, but our generation, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my mom didn't talk to me about sex. She
fuck no.
handed me a couple of books from the 70s and was like, "Here, read these."
It's more than I
Everything
got.
I learned was from experience or from like talk,
Right.
which is why when I had my own kid, I was
Yes,
like, "Look, this is how shit works.
surprise,
You have
surprise.
to figure out
That's
X, Y,
pretty
and
much
Z."
how my education went.
Yeah. So it's like when your only education is what you see on television and movies, like yeah, I mean, I get it. It's not an excuse, but I agree with what you're saying. Like you were raised to expect that that's what was supposed to happen and women were raised to expect that that's what we're supposed to do and we're also supposed to be fulfilled by it. So, I'm with you. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um I think for me,
I
like
mean,
other than that, like the whole, this movie's a little rapey.
Right.
Um, I feel
a
like,
little.
and again, this is also a thing of the times. I get it. A lot of the action you could tell was like so staged. Like a
Oh yeah.
lot of the fight scenes were like y- you you could tell that one person was waiting for the other person to do a thing and then they were going to do their thing and it was very like I don't know.
It was
It was
choreographed.
just
Yeah.
it was
Fight
yes,
choreography wasn't great,
everything
and
was
you.
choreographed, but it was obviously choreographed to the point of it didn't blend seamlessly.
Yeah, it probably wasn't as practiced as it could have been. And the other side of that is you've got a bunch of guys who came from the stage where everything's so much more exaggerated because it
Right.
has to be readable by somebody 300 seats out.
True.
So it's way
Yeah.
more exaggerated. And when you put that on film, and again, high detail screen, right?
Right.
It looks like uh,
60
a
years
bad
ago, it
professional
probably
wrestling match.
wouldn't have made
Hey,
it
I'm
that
gonna
way.
swing. You need to duck.
Right, exactly. Like
Um,
it was very obvious in a lot of scenes and but it didn't make me mad because I get it. I get the time that the movie was made, but like if I were watching this as somebody who didn't know that, I would be like, "Wow, this
or
is
if somebody made that movie today, you'd be like, bro, get some rehearsal in.
yeah."
No, when you compare it against other movies of the time, it's great.
Yeah.
And the sound editing, as we found out, won an Oscar, and it
Yeah.
so the fight scenes and the gunshot sounds and everything is laid over really really
Yeah,
well.
it was
So
on. Yeah.
it's quasi believable for the time.
Yeah,
Um,
at least the sounds went with what was happening for
right.
pretty much the most part, but it just still was very you could tell very rehearsed, very rigid, very like A, B, C, 1 plus 2 equals 3, like, this is what we're doing. It wasn't organic feeling. Whereas now, with editing and probably just better practice, stuff feels more organic. Like it feels like a real fight versus like, a stage play. So,
And the plot felt more TV episode than movie. Like it was rushed, and then all of a sudden the twist is, no, we're going to nuke the gold.
it
It's like
did
they were
get
trying to bust out some bad social commentary in a movie where there hadn't been any until that moment. That probably the writing. I've only read one Bond book, and it's been a long goddamn time. And I don't remember if it was that contrived, but this one felt pretty forced.
It was very like stuff would happen and then there would be just like a lull and then
Right?
stuff would happen and there'd be another lull and then it was like, oh my god, here's stuff happening. Here's this big twist. Oh my god, it's the end. Okay, bye.
Well, and this was honestly before villains learned that monologuing is how you die.
Yes.
You sly dog, you got me monologuing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kasey, what about you? Anything you didn't like?
I think we pretty much covered most of the quote unquote problematic issues of the movie. I actually had my whole explanation written into my review. So, but I mean, yeah, the movie's problematic at times with the rapiness and, you know, elements of like the fight choreography could have been done better, you know.
Sorry. I'm sorry,
Is
Kasey. I'm
it
sorry. I'm sorry.
expertly
I have to interrupt you for a second. I will be right back. You keep talking. Talk amongst yourselves. Jack is like throwing a fit. I have to go let him outside. Be right back. Continue.
oh,
We don't need her.
it 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 um is the movie expertly written? Yeah, probably not, but you know, to me there really isn't a whole lot to outright just hate about the movie. I mean, I love the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
some movies more than others, but you know, this just happens to be one of those ones that, you know, it's not at the bottom of the list. It's not necessarily, you know,
I mean, it's
making
probably
my top
bottom
5
half
either at the same time.
for me if I had to sit down and rank all
Yeah,
25 or 8 of them, whatever it is. But this one is also so iconic.
I look at this movie and probably Doctor No as probably the two movies that, you know, grab me by the ears and scream in my face. You know, these are the movies that, you know, gave us the spy movie tropes that we have. You know, like you can tell from, you know, this movie and especially this movie and Doctor No where they got 98% of the material for the three Austin Powers movies.
And a lot of other things, both serious and not serious. I mean, you can see elements of these movies in Top Secret. You can see elements of these movies in Archer. You
Yeah.
can see elements of these movies in Chuck.
Oh, I love Chuck.
You can see elements of these movies in Mission Impossible, really. So a lot of this stuff has been spoofed, and a lot of this stuff has been inspiration for other things. And then some of these gadgets, I don't know if you've ever been to a museum where they have a bunch of old spy stuff from the Cold War. Some of these gadgets almost got copied because people hadn't thought about some of these things.
Yeah.
And some of these gadgets were copied from real spy gear in these movies. So there's elements of
Oh my
these that
God!
show up.
Speaking of spies, though, really quick, I have to shout out one of my all-time favorite arcade games from being a kid growing up,
Spy Hunter.
and all the hours and quarters. Yes, I spent hundreds of dollars. Mm,
Well, I was just about to mention Goldeneye. I mean, in college, coming home from the bar, Goldeneye, when you could play 4 people on a screen
Mhm.
together, like, I cannot tell you the countless hours I spent playing Goldeneye. Like, just
Oh, I remember
fucking
fights starting over
Oh,
about whether or not people should use Odd Job in PvP games at GoldenEye.
yeah.
No, that
no, we
was
used
a great party game.
Yeah.
to play the 60 Nintendo 64 GoldenEye game
Right.
with the 4 squared,
Right.
yeah, the 4 different screens on the one screen, and while we're drinking beers and talking shit and full on battle mode, trying to hide around the corner and
Yeah.
popping
Like
out and
all night.
pew pew
You're hiding up in that top little treehouse thing and you're like
pew pew pew.
Absolutely not looking at one of the other corners of the screen trying to get an advantage, because that would be cheating.
exactly, because that's cheating.
That's against the rules.
No, that was
That
the standard coming
nobody
home from the
followed.
bar, like every weekend. Like that was what we did. It was so much fun.
But no, like I was saying though, I mean,
Sorry.
because our movie theater had like 3 I don't know, had like 3 arcade games in the lobby, and Spy Hunter was one of them. So like every time I'd go to the movies, I would plop like dollars and dollars of quarters in playing the game while I was waiting for the movie to start. And that Aston Martin screams Spy Hunter car to me.
Oh yeah,
Aston Martin is hot.
yeah.
Oil
So was
slick,
that
smoke
Mustang.
screen.
It was just a '64 Mustang convertible. Nothing.
I don't care. It was still hot.
I'd have rather had the T-Bird Felix was driving around in,
Okay, fair.
because you'll have fun until Daddy takes your T-Bird away.
Ah,
R.I.P. Brian Wilson. Are we ready for our top 5s? Before
I
we do our
am.
reviews? All right.
I am ready for mine.
Chris, you want to go first?
Absolutely. Top 5 Bond girl names.
Nice.
In 5th, Holly Goodhead from Moonraker.
Yes.
Number 4 is Xenia Onatop from GoldenEye. You got to get that plosive in it, on top. And number
On the
3, on the top, yes. Number 3, Chew Me from Man with a Golden Gun.
Oh, fook me.
Uh,
Fook you.
Number 2, Octopussy from the aforementioned Octopussy.
Yeah.
And number 1, our girl, Pussy Galore.
Pussy galore. Yes.
As honorable mention, I've got BB Doll from For Your Eyes Only,
Oh yeah.
Honey Rider from Dr. No, and this is not a Bond girl, but it is an Ian Fleming character, Truly Scrumptious from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. Good one. All right, Kasey, you want to go or you want me to go?
co-host.
All right, so I almost did my favorite Bond girls, not names, but just the Bond girls, but I didn't. I actually went with my top 5 actors who I think should be the next James Bond.
Ooh, I wanted to have this conversation anyway.
So, there are a lot of names out there, and actually
I'm
the top
surprised
name,
an hour and 15 minutes in we haven't.
yeah, the number one name that I keep seeing out there didn't even make my top 5, but I'm sure we may bring it up. But honorable mentions, I'll go ahead and throw. I guess I'll throw him out there. Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's kind of like the big one that everybody's talking about. He was in The Illusionist, and I think he was in that Captain America movie, Winter Soldier. He's been in some of the Marvel movies. I can't remember.
Wasn't he Quicksilver in?
I don't know. I mix up all those comic book movies, to be honest. I know he's a Marvel character. Other honorable mention is Theo James. He was in Divergent. I feel like he could do it.
Sure.
He's British.
Yeah.
So, okay. My top 5.
Whoa.
Whoa, what? What?
Chris and I should take bets as to how long it's going to take for you to say the one name that we know you're going to say.
All right. Well, tell me what number you think he is.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Chris probably doesn't know who you're talking about. You do.
Yeah, message me.
I'm going. Yes, I would. I'm going with number 2.
I'm hoping it's not on the list. But
It's
I'll
on
say
the
3.
list. It's not number 2. Okay. My number 5 is Taron Egerton. The guy from the Kingsman. I think
Absolutely.
He's kind of short, but I still think he could be a really good Bond, and I fucking love that guy. All right, number 4, but he is too old, unfortunately, is Idris Elba.
Yeah, that's my vote against Idris Elba, is that he's too old.
If they had picked Idris Elba even 10 years ago, fucking solid. I do believe he's too old, but I still think he would have been a great James Bond, so that's why he's on my list.
Well, that and Idris Elba doing it ruins any chance of any continuation of Luther, and I want to see a Luther movie. Or another Luther movie.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as much as I would have loved it, I don't think it's going to happen, but he had to be on the list because even before other people were saying his name for this, I had been saying it. So, number 3 is Henry Golding. I think Henry Golding could be a really good Bond. He's British. He's Asian. He's hot. He's a decent actor. He's taller than most Bonds, but I think he could still really pull it off. Number 2, I have Jamie Dornan. He may also be a little old, but I don't think he's too old.
Christian Grey.
Yes. Dude is actually a good actor. I know he's in 50 Shades and people are like blah, 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 blah. But he's been in other stuff. He's a good actor. He's got the look. He's got the swag. He's got the accent. Like, he could totally pull it off. And then number 1, it's kind of predictable, but I'm going with Tom Hardy. I don't know why Tom Hardy hasn't been tapped for James Bond already, to be honest. So.
Oh, God, I would fucking love that. Have you seen Mobland? Have either of y'all seen Mobland?
I haven't, but I want to.
God, he is fucking... I mean, he's Peaky Blinders brilliant in Mobland.
He's such a good actor. And I don't even think, like, it on my list of people, he, to me, is not the most attractive, but I still think he would make the most amazing James Bond because he's so smart and witty, and he's still attractive. He's got the accent, and he just has that air about him. Like,
I'm personally hoping for Richard Madden.
Richard Madden was also on my honorable mentions. Rob Stark.
He was great in Bodyguard. He's Scottish, which canonically Bond is Scottish, not English.
Right.
And I think he's still young enough that he could do a good decade and a half of the role.
Yeah. My other honorable mentions were Henry Cavill and John Boyega. I think John Boyega is a stretch, but I just love him and would love to see him in more stuff.
Not
Finn,
Cavill. Please, not Cavill.
not Cavill.
No,
I
because
love
he's got
him.
too many other. No, I love Henry
I know,
Cavill,
I
but he's got.
agree with you. He's Superman. Like you can't. Yeah.
Well, no, and he's got other projects he's in the middle of right now that I don't want him distracted on. Like he's doing a Highlander reboot for Amazon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And he's doing. He's the executive producer of a deal with Amazon to bring Warhammer 40,000 to the screen.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want Henry having any other distractions right now.
Honestly, Tom Hardy and Henry Golding would be like right now today. If you asked me, my top 2 picks.
I would be okay with Henry Golding.
Yeah. And I'm in love with Henry Golding though. So ever since Crazy Rich Asians, I've been like in love with him.
Have you seen the Trevor Noah bit about why Idris Elba can't be James Bond?
Yes.
It's so accurate. It's
Yeah,
hilarious, and it's
it is.
100% spot on.
I just had to throw him in there because I have wanted it for so long, and now that ship has sailed. But I just feel like if they had captured it at the right time, Idris Elba could have been an amazing Bond. Like,
Yeah, I think if they'd have cast him 10, 15 years ago, it'd be a different conversation.
Right.
But he's already in his 50s, and
Right.
I would love to see him get a role in the franchise. Maybe cast him as M,
or even as a villain. I mean,
or as a villain. Yeah,
he plays a good bad guy.
he does play a good bad guy.
Also, his new movie looks really cool. The oh crap, what's it called? Crap, I forgot the name of it, but it's him and John Cena and Priyanka Chopra, and it looks really good. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's coming out like in the next 2 weeks. Oh, I'll find it, but it looks really good. Oh, and I love that she took on her husband's name, so it's Priyanka Chopra Jonas. That's a mouthful.
Unlike her husband.
Hey, do not hate on Nick Jonas.
Oh,
He is the best Jonas brother. He is type 1 diabetic, and he is a warrior for the cause, and they're a hot couple. So
I mean, being the best Jonas brother is like being the best Gallagher brother.
fuck you.
High five.
You. As people, the Jonas brothers are better than the Gallagher brothers, I will say. But anyway.
As people, my saggy old man scrotum is better than the Gallaghers.
That's probably fair. Hey, I like Nick Jonas.
Okay.
He is, by all means that we know, a stand-up guy. So you leave him alone. All right, Kasey, which top 5?
All right. So I had 3 potential lists, and you rat bastard stole 2 out of the 3 of them.
So you have a list.
Wait, so who
I have
do you think should be Bond?
Yeah, no, let's hear your list of Bonds.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, you can go fast, but I want to hear who you had.
Oh, I don't have the Bond list.
Oh.
Because at the end of the day, the whole Bond thing is way too freaking controversial for me. I know I don't have Idris Elba on my list at all. And at the same time, I've heard stupid people make the one argument that pisses me off the most is when people play the race card and whatever.
Dumb. It doesn't matter.
It's 2025. Get over it.
I mean, if we can have a female Doctor Who at this point, we can have a fucking black James Bond.
I'd love to have a female Bond.
Yeah.
Like, can we make her 008 and bring a new franchise? Like, or just a 007 and make it a girl? Like, that's a whole other discussion. But believe me, I have thought about, and I actually
they did that in No Time to Die.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot about that. My top 5 almost was women who should be Bond. But yeah.
And somebody asked Daniel Craig about that, and
That would be an
he
interesting topic.
and I loved his answer, and he says, "No, I don't want a female Bond. I want them to come up with a female character as good or better than Bond."
I agree.
And I thought that was a great answer. Um, and honestly, I don't understand how they haven't expanded this franchise, right? Because it's
Yeah.
begging for it. We know there's other double O's. We've seen them in a couple of movies, both alive and dead,
Right.
throughout the whole series,
Yeah.
right? Um, in fact, we see what 005 killed, 008 killed at the beginning of Octopussy, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was
Yeah.
009.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was another one of the double O's that was killed at the beginning of Octopussy. So I don't understand why they've never expanded this franchise, or we haven't seen a young James Bond.
Right.
So
The amount
yeah,
of potential in this franchise is so mind
Right.
blowing.
Well, it's just like with Disney doing so to preface this, I had zero problems with this. But casting a black girl as Ariel, like the only thing I cared about was did she have red hair, because that's the classic Ariel trait. But
Well,
it's like,
what the fuck do mermaids look like? I don't fucking know.
yeah, exactly. So I had zero problems with this, but I'm like, why can't we come up with a new story that is a black character
Right.
and make the character black? Have that be part of their character instead of just reinventing a white character but casting a black person in it. Like, that's fine, but like also we can create new characters for other people. Like, we can put people of color in new characters and just make new characters.
Right.
Like,
I have no problem with
why they don't do that.
with a race or a gender swap as long as it advances the story. If
Right.
it's a race or gender swap in any
Mhm.
direction for the sake of doing it, no.
Right.
But these are the same people that got really, really
Exactly.
pissed off because Disney, or probably Netflix, cast a white guy to play Iron Fist. He's always been a white guy. But people were somehow mad about the fact that the martial artist who, lived in some mythical part of Asia was white. Well, when you read his
Right.
backstory, he was always white. So people are going to bitch regardless.
Yeah, people are going to complain just to
But
complain.
yeah, I think if we're going to get a female super spy, just give me, backstory on Long Kiss Goodnight. I'll be happy.
Or could we get Bond's daughter, or
Sure.
because if you're going to be part of the Bond franchise, you've got to be
You have
related.
to have some sort of
Otherwise,
connection to Bond.
It's just a new franchise off
Sure.
of, so you want it to be connected, but yeah. So, all right, Kasey.
So
Hello? Oh,
I'm gonna go with the aforementioned low hanging fruit best Bond themes.
nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's still low hanging fruit, just because it's an easy topic to literally have a whole episode on discussing and still not scratch the surface.
Right.
But
Yeah.
so um so as far as honorable mention goes, I will put um this theme song as my only honorable mention. I
Okay.
don't necessarily think it's horrible per se, but it's definitely not top 5 worthy. And I don't necessarily think it's bottom 5 worthy either, so we'll put it in that honorable mention category. Number 5, Billie Eilish, No Time to Die.
Yeah. It was really good.
Number 4 is Radiohead, Spectre.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Number 3, Nancy Sinatra, You Only Live Twice.
Okay.
This sucks too because I'm literally going back and forth over the fact that I have 2 spots left and 3 songs that I absolutely loved as as Bond themes. And I'm going to leave off that one. I'm going to go with I'm on number 2, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
For Your Eyes Only, Sheena Easton.
Okay.
Great one.
And so the 2 I'm going back and forth over. No, the other one's not go. Number
Fuck it,
1,
it's your show.
Adele,
Give them both.
Skyfall.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
We already know Kristen
tied
like
for
him, but it's
number
your
1.
list.
Tied for number 1 because it is my list and I can do that. Adele,
Yeah.
Skyfall, and Paul McCartney and Wings, Live and Let Die.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, "Live and Let Die" has to be on your list. I know it has to be.
No, it's oh god, yeah, it's a great one. I think the only one you're missing there, and I don't know what you dropped for it, is "A View to a Kill" by Duran Duran.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was definitely a considered and probably would 100% be right there in hot contention with the rest.
For
Then
me,
again,
I
I
would
also
have
love
had to have
Duran Duran,
"Diamonds Are
Duran
so
Forever" in
Duran,
there.
great fucking song.
probably "Live and Let Die" is the most iconic,
Yeah.
especially when you throw in the cover by Guns N' Roses.
Right.
Yes.
I would have had to have "Diamonds Are Forever" in
Alrighty.
there somewhere, and maybe, probably "The World Is Not Enough."
I don't remember that one very well. Need to go back and listen to that one.
Garbage.
I would definitely have not have included Skyfall. I thought that was a horrible theme song.
I didn't think it was that bad. It's not.
I also didn't enjoy the movie that much either.
Maybe that's why. Because I ain't really either. It's
That
probably
could be.
my least favorite of the Daniel Craig movies.
Yeah.
But
How you gonna kill Dame Judi Dench? What the fuck, man?
I mean,
And the original plan for that movie is the groundskeeper was supposed to be played by Connery.
Oh.
As sort of an old retired spy who was just taking care of the grounds. And I forget who they got to play the groundskeeper and did an okay job. It just would have been really cool if it had been Connery.
I mean, getting to do a James Bond song is like the epitome of a career. Like everybody strives for that. Like it used to be like for actors hosting SNL, but now everybody's hosted SNL, so it's not the same thing. But like it's one of those things, if you can achieve it in a career, like you're at the top.
Yeah.
So I think anybody that can do that, you have to appreciate whatever they bring to it. And Shirley, like for whatever you say about Goldfinger, Shirley, is it Bassey? Shirley Bassey
Something
has
like that.
done like 3 Bond songs.
And I think honestly, it's one of those things that Lorne Michaels calls, you take the fucking call, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The NFL calls for the Super Bowl halftime show, you take the fucking call. Whether you do it or not, you take the call. UA MGM calls about doing a Bond song, you take the fucking call.
Right. Because that's Billie Eilish, that's not up her alley. That's not her wheelhouse. That's not what she's. But when they ask you to do it, you're like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Because at that point, you're printing money.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not mad at any artist who takes that call, right? Because, like I said, you take the fucking call, whether you do it or not. You take the call.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So, do we want to go around the table really quick and rate the movie?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll go. I thought this movie was fun. It's a good time. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's still, like, for me, other than the things we mentioned, held up. I think this movie, pun intended, is the gold standard for the films that came after it. They set you up with a lot of the gadgets and a lot. I just felt like this one was a little bit different and kind of, like, paved the way. So I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 decapitating hats. Chris?
PP?
All right. I grew up on Bond films, right? I love these movies. I loved this movie. Of all the things I complained about, I was looking through a modern eye for a 60-year-old movie. So you have to take this movie for when it was made. And for when it was made, it was, these things were acceptable, unfortunately, in movies and in society. So throw that out the window when you're watching that movie and just appreciate the 60-year-old work of art. It's a lot of fun. It's a mindless watch. It's the gold standard, as Amanda put. And this is really probably the most foundational early Bond movie. Because there's not a lot of carryover from Dr. No. From Russia with Love is almost forgettable. This is like where things really start to pick up steam in the franchise. So for all the negative things I said about this movie, I really do enjoy this movie. It's just you have to look at things through a modern lens sometimes. But for what this movie is, it's great. So I'm going to give it 004 stars.
Nice. Kasey and I were wondering what we were going to do. That was well played.
I will give you the other one I was going to do, but I'm going to let Kasey do his first because I don't want to steal it just in case.
Yeah, with you guys, you never know.
Well, I don't think you're going to be stealing mine anyway, but
you said that before, and then
I'm going to agree with
you. And then he stole 4 of your choices.
Right. Oh no, you can't have my next one. You son of a bitch.
This is on your list.
So again, the same thing as my cohorts said, in modern times, yeah, this movie might be a little bit problematic, have issues if you're looking at it from a contemporary lens, but no, it's still a fun movie to watch. It's enjoyable. It's not winning any awards for writing. It's not winning any awards for, blah, 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 blah. But, it's a great
it
movie.
won an Academy Award. That's nothing to get mad about.
Okay, for sound editing.
So it still won an Academy Award.
I mean,
first
more Academy Awards than most movies.
Yeah.
True. And, like Chris said, though, this is really when the Bond franchise really started to pick up steam and take off like a bat out of hell. So, yeah, I'm going to give it 4 pussies galore out of 5.
Nice. Chris, what was your other one?
What was the other one you were going to use?
I was going to read it in Aston Martin DB 4 stars.
Nice. Nice. If I could fuck a car, I'd fuck that car.
That car fucks.
Fucking amazing.
That car fucks.
Oh, God.
Car fucks hard.
Fucking Goldfinger's Rolls Royce he had in England.
Ugh.
Oh,
I hated the color, but that was a sexy car.
it's a Phantom 2. I don't give a fuck what color it is. It could have been fucking Bondo color, and it's a
Yeah.
fucking Rolls Royce Phantom 2.
It's gold, it's gold, it's
Exactly.
gold, it's gold, it's solid gold, baby.
Because the thing about that era of Rolls, remember, Rolls was a carriage house, was a carriage company. So you ordered the car, and then they built it to your spec. So like the chassis
Yeah.
was the same on all of them, and the drivetrain was the same on 2 or 3 different options. But every single one of those Phantoms are unique.
Wow. It's gold member. Gold member.
Sorry, did I say Ghost or Phantom? Ghost. Phantoms are the new ones. Anyway, all those high-end cars back then, the Bugattis, the Auburns, the Rollses, were all semi-bespoke.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's
We
gold.
can't, yeah. So, as always, we can't end the episode though without thanking the Unpop Kernels for being here, or shall I say, shameless Keith people for
Human
being here
teeth.
each and every week. You guys are amazing. You guys help deliver an incredible month for our Classic Hollywood month. You know, thank you, Amanda, for suggesting this one because I had a lot of fun watching these 5 movies that we talked about.
They were
I
good.
look forward to bringing Classic Hollywood month back again sometime in the future. Not saying distant or near, but
I really want to do
it's
the original
definitely
House on the Hill, so we gotta make time for that.
Vincent Price. Oh, Jesus God.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously, thank you, Papa Palpatine, for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We
Appreciate it.
appreciate your gracing us with your iconic presence all the time.
15th time trying to get in his charm.
Hey,
Sorry
you
about your internets.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Mother Nature is a sketchy whore.
I mean, at least I'm assuming you're safe because you haven't said anything, so that's good.
I mean, the roof is
Quarantine
still.
seems to be about over.
And honestly, we didn't really get. I mean, there was no sirens or anything. There was just some
Yeah.
crackles of thunder and lightning and some wind. And for the one time ever, it fucked with my internet. Normally, I could just push right through. I don't know what happened there. So,
Yeah.
but hey, we figured it out.
We've lost power a few times this season for the same thing, and it's like we're not even under a tornado warning. What the fuck's happening? But what are you gonna do?
So before we get to what's coming up on An Evening at the Movies next month, is there anything coming up on One-Step Paintball that you would like to let the listeners know about?
Yes, absolutely. The One-Step Paintball podcast, where we talk about the sport, the culture, and the history of the great sport of paintball. We just dropped an episode with Corey Moon of Loud City Roar talking about putting together a good scenario team. I have an episode coming up with Happy of Evil Paintball, talking about his paintball journey and the evolution of the sport. He's been playing almost as long as I have, so that'll be a fun conversation.
Nice.
And we've still got some other stuff in the pipeline. We just got to figure out people's lives and schedules, but we're going to keep cranking out content as long as people are willing to listen to it.
Amazing. Check it out.
Awesome. Highly recommend. It is choice.
If you have
Let's
opinions, I
see. Coming up,
suggest
Oh, and sorry, almost forgot. Thanks to our amazing sponsors, we are going to be able to, at the brand in October, at Avid Extreme Sports, we will be giving full setups away to 2 players this season.
Ooh.
So marker, hopper, tank, clothing, and other stuff to 2 players who do not have their own gear. So thanks to some donations and help of our sponsors, we are expanding the program from 1 player from last year to 2.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so
You
cool.
growing up and expanding like
Very awesome. Summerween.
coming up on An Evening at the Movies. That one recommended another theme, and we're going to run with it. We're going to be talking horror movies all month long in July. Officially, Summerween.
Summer horror movies.
So summer horror movies?
Yeah.
Eh,
Horror.
I mean, she got to die first, right? So it.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Well,
some horrors in these
I mean,
houses.
I can say you run down the list of movies that we're talking about. There's some horrors in these movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle
Hey,
Gellar.
she lived, so
Jaws, the drunk chick that freaking goes swimming in the opening scene and doesn't
Meets
live to
her
see the opening
finale.
credits. Ah! Friday the 13th Part 2. That's a whole camp full of freaking whores. And then, well, at Chapter 1. So, lots of
teenage,
great stuff coming up
horny
in.
teenagers, not hoary, but horny.
Same
If
thing.
you read the book, they're hoary.
That's true.
All 7 of them.
That is fair. A teenage orgy to fight off a evil demon was not on my bingo card for reading that book,
Hey.
but here we are.
You got to do what you got to do to fight off the evil Pennywise.
I feel like that was
we
just
had
an
an evening at the
opportunity
movies.
that presented itself,
to-
and the guys were like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
whatever.
we here at an evening at the movies do not condone 12-year-old orgies.
We do not. Yeah, we do
So.
not condone gangbangs for 12-year-olds. All right, so
No. Whoop, whoop. Lots of fun.
Stay tuned for
I
Summerween.
look forward,
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff coming up in August and September. We'll get to that down the road.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my 48-year-old bladder is screaming at me to turn the microphone over to Amanda and end the show. So, co-host, take us home.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this 007 episode. And Chris, thanks for being here. And we hope you get your pussy galore and come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye. I love gold.